So about a year ago now, no, maybe 2 years ago now, I gotta tell you this story. But 2 years ago now, I was in this same town. It's almost 2 years to the day, or well, to the month anyway. It was in the spring. And I was in this same town, and I thought it's about an hour from my place. I don't come here very often. And I thought I would check out the local record stores, as I do. And so I checked out this one record store. It had like brand new stuff, and it was a really nice shop, but it was pretty much only brand new, which is a new thing. It's kind of coming around. People are doing only new stuff. Anyway, so this store had only new stuff, and then there was this other store that was like a thrift store that basically had like a couple records and some tapes. It was not bad. Then I went to this other store. This was before the YouTube channel, by the way, so I never filmed it. I went to this other store, hole in the wall. Obviously, had been there for several decades. Great place. Hundreds, thousands and thousands of records. Zero new records, which is interesting. But all old records, some CDs, some tapes, mostly records. Organized really well too, like by decade, and that was kind of cool. And then sometimes by genre and sometimes by band. I go into, this is a time, and I mentioned this before on the show, this is a time where I wasn't familiar with the concept of Genesis bootlegs, live bootlegs, like illegal fake stuff from the 70s and 80s, like homemade records essentially. And I came across this section that had maybe a half dozen bootlegs. Now that I'm more familiar with bootlegs, here's what it had. It had, hold on, I'm lost. Bedside Yellow Foam, which is they still have this 2 years later. Nobody's bought it yet. They had Odd Man Out. They had this Genesis live record that I'll show you that I did end up picking up. Really cool Duke era bootleg. They had A Living Story, I believe, and White Mountain, I believe, which I bought those two. And then I think that's it. There might have been another one. Anyway, I did not know that this existed. Not only that, but they also had some great other records too. I got like, I think I got the Tonight 12-inch single. And I also got a copy of, I got my first copy of From Genesis to Revelation, which I hadn't had yet. Not a big deal, but it was cool. So this store kind of enshrined itself as like one of my favorite places to go shopping because it's where I discovered Genesis bootlegs, and it was like a treasure trove of Genesis bootlegs. They were all about $40 each. It wasn't that expensive. Anyway, I'm driving there now. I can't spend very much time, so this isn't going to be a big, long video of stuff. But and I haven't been there in about 6 months. I now go back much more frequently, and since that story, I've been back 2 or 3 times, just because of that, of the history. And every time I've gone there, I've found something new, which is cool. In fact, the one time I went there and I got all those bootlegs, my phone keeps falling over. I don't know how the YouTubers do this. I gotta get a mounted thing or something. Anyway, if you want me to get a mounted camera for my car, then join the Patreon. Anyway, so I go back to this place all the time, maybe twice a year, because you got to be careful. People want me to do these videos more often, but these record stores don't turn over their inventory very often. I mean, of course they get new stuff every week. So I'm heading there today. Here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a copy of Peter Gabriel's Scratch. I don't own that. And then whatever other surprises. I know that, like, I think there probably will be still one left Genesis bootleg, which I might grab. But I kind of, if it's Yellow Bedside Foam, I listened to it today on YouTube. It's not that great quality. I might get it one day if I ever find it for cheap, but I'm not gonna go crazy and spend big bucks on it. So that's what I'm looking for today, and I'll take you along for the journey, and we'll see what we find, because it's always nice to find. Oh, I'm also looking for Brand X. I'm looking for that Brand X record that Bill Smith did, because I don't have that in my collection. Is there anything new? Is there anything now? Is this anything now? Whatever it's called.
Okay, let me take you to this store that I really love. Now, I will say, and you'll notice this in the video, some of the record stores I visit on a frequent basis, like even a couple times a year, don't really change their inventory too much, but they do actually. This store does. Here's just a video of me looking at Invisible Touch. I like the artwork. I like how crazy it is. Like, I like it in a bad way. You know what I mean? It's fun. Here's some of the Peter Gabriels. Remember, I'm looking for Scratch. There we go. This is in rough shape, but I actually like how rough it looks. I'll get a good copy one day. Security is another thing on my list. And now here's the Genesis stuff. So this is what I was telling you about, bedside yellow foam. This is a Lamb, right? A Lamb bootleg. And honestly, one day, it's been here for 3 years. Nobody's picked it up. $40 Canadian's a pretty decent price for it, but I don't know. You've seen this before, right? It's like an alternate cover to from Genesis to Revelation. No thanks. Actually don't own that. The rest in the pile here are the usual suspects, but I'm always interested in a little surprise, and we actually get a surprise today. That's a pretty good copy of the Lamb. And then we've just got, the usuals, which is nice because you don't always see, like, if you were going to get, to start your Genesis vinyl collection, this store pretty much has every record that was ever on vinyl. Now, here's something I want to talk about. I didn't buy this, and I've been thinking about going back and getting it next time I'm in the area. This is a copy of Wind that is like, see how it's textured? It was in mint condition, and it was a beautiful record, beautiful version. I mean, I have a couple versions of Wind. It's one of my favorite records by them. This record, just the texture on the cover, I've never seen it like that before. It's in such good shape. I regret not buying it, to be honest. That copy, I'll go back to it. That's the blue copy. We see that all the time, don't we? So this is a regular. This would be just a black copy, and then this Spot the Pigeon is blue for $15. You guys like that one? This is on my list, but it's never hard to find. So I'm not in any rush. I don't want to buy everything all at once. Otherwise I can't make you any videos. 1984 we missed there. This is Private Parts. And this was something I want to find, or I want to buy at some point, but I didn't buy it today. This was my big find because it's a 12-inch of Invisible Touch, and that's very hard to come across. Now, it's not clear vinyl, it's black. And I actually own this on 7-inch. I bought it from Discogs, which is cheating. So to be able to find it today, and this store has been really good to me for 12-inch singles. I don't know where they're getting them from, but I found a great copy of That's All with Firth of Fifth on the other side, a 12-inch of that. So Bank Statement, what a funny name, and like terrible album cover. So there's the Genesis from Peter Gabriel. I don't think there was any fill here. I forgot to catch it. When I'm in a scenario like this and I'm overwhelmed and I was also in a hurry, I had to get somewhere, I try to remember the other records that I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Here's some 7-inches. Like in this selection here, that there's a 7-inch I want, right? Or I need. There's a Genesis one. Oh, by the way, those are all in. Then there were 3s. And you can see that this store has, like, down on the bottom, they have excess inventory. And so there's some Dukes you can see over there. And I just think it's really funny. They have like all, like, an extra few dozen copies of Seconds Out. And then there were 3. It's pretty funny. 80s 12 inches. I'll let you look through this in case anything takes you back in time. There's a cool A&M logo, but it's nothing that we're looking for. Again, this is where I found, I believe at this store, I found Tonight with the really kind of cool black and white artwork. And I found That's All. And then today's copy of Invisible Touch. So I like going through the 12-inch singles because it does seem to turn over quite a bit. See anything you like there? Let me know in the comments. Again, it's cool because the shop has stuff organized by decade. Oh, there's that funny cover of Philip Bailey, Easy Lover, which I own. I own a couple versions of that, I think. I think there's 3 covers. Are you seeing anything here that you think I should get? If you see anything in these videos and you're like, Scott, I know you only listen to Genesis and Phil Collins, but you should get that. Let me know. Let me know and I'll take a listen, and then maybe I'll go back and pick it up on your recommendation. Some people have done that. They've recommended some records that I've missed. Oh, by the way, if you're ever like, Scott, you just flip past a $200 record, go back and buy it. Then let me know and I'll split the profits with you. Okay, so, I've had so many success with 12 inches here that I have to look through all these just in case. Although I'm really kind of running out. I don't think there's much left for me to find. Now that I think about it, I might have all of the 12 inches. I probably would start buying them again if some are in better condition. And I don't know if I don't know if a Separate Lives is on 12 inch. I don't own that. There might be some other Phil Collins stuff. I mean, if I ever came across one of you guys sent me the 12 inch of No Son of Mine. I mean, you never come across that. That would be insane. I would probably grab a Mike and the Mechanics 12 inch too. That would be cool. Anyway, as I was saying about 7 inches, in that selection of 7 inches there, and I think I go through them a little bit here, but in that selection of 7 inches, it's just too hard to flip through. You have to read every label. It's really hard to flip through the paper sleeves. And it's also hard when I'm filming too. And I just think I don't know. I don't really collect 7 inches that much. I'm not crazy about them. And so the time and how intricate it is. I went to one store last year. I took you to that where they had them all alphabetical and they were organized and priced really, really well. So yeah, there's probably something worthwhile in here, but it's you're just looking at the logos, right? You're just looking at the record labels. You're looking for Atco or Atlantic or even, what's the other one? I forget. Oh, there's Buddha Records. They were on Buddha, right? Or what was the story with Buddha? Oh man, I'm blanking now. Maybe they talked to Buddha? Why does that sound familiar? I'm totally forgetting my Genesis history here. Anyway, I really don't spend too much time. I get discouraged because it's there might be a gem in here, but I can't be bothered to spend my whole time going through all this. You always got to check those Atlantics though. You never know. I like them. They're colorful. They've got cool character. They're a little bit before my time. I never grew up with jukeboxes. I remember a couple bowling alleys or restaurants when I was a kid having a jukebox, but I'm a little too young for that era. So 7 inches don't really mean much to me. And they also don't look good in my rack, in my record collection. They're so small, kind of like 10 inches, There's some Phil and Genesis. There's tons of Phil and Genesis stuff I don't own. So maybe one day I'll grab that, but not today. Sorry to disappoint. If you guys have a strategy for looking through 7 inches, please let me know. I would love to know. So here's just some more records. This is a great store, by the way. I really hope some of you guys can check it out one day. I really hope that you all just have your own record store like this, one that you can rely on and go to once or twice a year. I mean, of course, we should be supporting record stores monthly, but they don't always, not every record store is very active in updating their inventory. And I don't know about you, but I'm not a billionaire. But you should join the Patreon so I can become a billionaire. Tapes, that's it for this store. Okay.
Today, my friends, is my birthday. Thank you. Just join the Patreon, buy me a cake. I was at home working, and then I thought I need to go get a sandwich. I'll show you the sandwich, best sandwich in the world. And then I just got thinking about records, and I thought I should go to this record store. Then I found out there's a street in my town I haven't been to in a while, has a great record store, has a second great record store. Then I found out it has a third record store. And then I was looking at the Google Maps. Apparently there's a fourth record store on the same street. So I'm going to go there for my birthday because I thought, if you ever need justification, rationalization to go to a record store, your birthday is a good excuse. So I'm going to get a sandwich right now, and then I'm going to go record shopping, and I'll bring you with me. Look at this. What do you think? Unbelievable.
Man, that sandwich was something else. Something else. I've had about I discovered this place, this sandwich place, about a month ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, honestly, maybe 3 weeks ago. And I've had probably 10 sandwiches from there. And they're really expensive too. So I spent about $150 on sandwiches in the past 2 weeks from there. And I don't regret it. In fact, I want to finish editing this video so I can go get one right now. So this is a cool little hole in the wall store. And they have an incredible collection of records, fairly well organized, fairly well priced, pretty rough shape. As you can see, some Hello I Must Be Goings. What a popular record, eh? On vinyl. It's because people hang on to their face value. I think they give up the Hello I Must Be Going. I think it sold a lot of copies because it was in the vinyl peak. Kind of like, that's why you come across a lot of, and then there were threes and Abacabs and Dukes. But I also think that and then there were three, and Hello I Must Be Going would be a record that people would be more likely to purge, as opposed to something like The Lamb or Face Value. People are less likely to get rid of those records. That's just my opinion. Maybe the same is true for No Jacket Required, although there's a lot of No Jackets on cassettes as well. This place, I'd been here maybe 6 months to 12 months earlier, and not much changed. As I've said in previous videos, I always check the 8-tracks, but I do not want to collect 8-tracks. I even reluctantly collect cassettes. I will not start collecting 8-tracks. But if I did find one of The Lamb, I probably would grab it. So as I mentioned, there's 4 record stores on this street. That was one. The other one I'm not going to go to today because I go to all the time, and I've been there recently. So I'm not going to bring you along. I apologize. This is one I've never been to. This is the 3rd one on the street. There's some Tony Banks. You're kind of just getting the lay of the land too when you're doing this. You're trying to figure out if it's how it's organized, if it's okay to film in there. I was an idiot. I bought myself a coffee. So I'm trying to hold a camera, flip through records, and hold my coffee and not get caught all at once. That was tough. Nice copy of Peter Gabriel, Security. By the way, there's a funny thing in this video. I'll show you as we get a little bit closer. So this is the Genesis and Peter Gabriel that they had out on display. And it turns out, after a little while, they were like, Scott, or they didn't say my name. Sorry. They said, birthday boy, is there something we can help you find? And I was like, I'm just looking for some Genesis stuff, And he's like, I think we might have some more around here. And so then he goes into the basement. Remember, this is the stuff they have out in display, which is a lot. He goes into the basement. This is the second time this has happened at different record stores, and pulls up a giant box of all Phil Collins, Peter Gabriel, Genesis, Tony Banks, Mike, etc. And I was like, dude, why isn't this out? But I get it. They don't want to have 100 copies of Abacab. Here's some 12 inches that I don't have. I do have this one, but I don't have the next one. Isn't that funny that the face is kind of angled the same? Here's Another Day in Paradise. It was great to find this one. It's in these spineless sleeves. I think it was $10. Probably should have been $5, but whatever. These prices are going up, aren't they? So here's some more 12 inches. Here's some prog stuff I thought I'd just show you guys. Let me know if there's something, what is this called? Jade Garden? Jade Warrior? That's a phenomenal band. I've just been getting into them. Please let me know if you think there's something in this section here I should listen to, if it's recorded really well, good production. Let me know in the comments if one of these records I should add to my library, or what your favorite is. Yeah, that Jade Warrior stuff I'd heard about recently. It's really, really cool. If you like kind of proggy new age stuff. So here's that bin I was talking about. The usual suspects, it was good. It was really good. None of it was priced. That one is, but none of it was priced. So I think one of them was priced at $10. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Security, or it might have been Scratch. I'm not sure what I grabbed. And he was like, no, I can't sell it for, that's cool. He's like, no, I can't sell it for that. It's a $20 record. So I just kind of called his bluff. Oh, there's Geese and the Ghost. You need to own that. So I just kind of called his bluff and was like, yeah, I'm not interested. And I ended up just taking home the Another Day in Paradise 12-inch. Just double check that that's the American. Yep. Seconds out. Yeah, it's funny, right? We own all of these records, don't we? I mean, I have pretty much everything in this bin, aside from some of the Peter Gabriels. And, it's still nice to look through it all, though. That's the funny part, is like I still enjoy, and you guys are watching this, so you enjoy it too. Some No Jackets, some tricks. I just like seeing the album covers that I love. I could look at a cover of Face Value or Abacab all day long. I don't care. I love it. I think I can't remember the record that I think it was probably one of these Security ones. You know, this one was one of them was in really good shape, and so I thought, you know what, I'll grab this and I'll take it for $10. Oh, look at that. It's got the hype sticker on it. That would have been cool to grab, although I already have it. Yeah, so I grabbed that Security one just to kind of start to beef up my Peter Gabriel collection. But he ended up saying it was worth more. He said it should be $20. And I thought, you know what? I can just get lucky one day and find it somewhere else. Okay, the last record store. I was excited about this because look how cool it looks. And then it's closed. They're closed on like random Wednesdays. What a bummer. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button for exclusive videos, behind the scenes content, and to have your say on future topics before I film. Have a look at our Patreon page. Thanks for watching.